Another day and more horse poop. It is my Zen time, picking up horse poop. I do love it. I want to go back to the idea of getting readings and talking about how you say what to somebody when. First of all, I think readings are really helpful for stuck spots and emergencies. Like, am I going to get fired from my job? Should I take this job? Like when you're really panicked, not asking for that because you don't want to live with a little bit of anxiety. I always suggest readings when someone has, there's a lot of wind here, a lot of anxiety. Because the idea really I'm more interested in is helping each person have their own practice so they can sense themselves what's coming. Hi, Odin. And start trusting in themselves, their life, and their path. Otherwise, when I worked on a psychic hotline, it was, hi baby, it was the addicts that called, unfortunately. And I don't mean that judgmentally, I mean that in a very sad way. People would call all the time. It would be the same people calling over and over. Oh, there you are. Asking these terrified questions of, is this the one? Did he mean it? Does she mean it? Like getting these answers was going to make everything okay. And honestly, it would. It would for the moment. But then the next anxiety comes and the next anxiety. So maybe I shouldn't say addict. Maybe I should say traumatized. Traumatized people. But some of them weren't traumatized. Some of them were control freaks. Like, I want to know, is this the guy? Somebody called me once for stock market predictions. And it's all about, I need to get the right answer for me to be safe and happy. And I am okay with that, when you're having a crisis. I get it. But in the long run, what I want to do is feel like, okay, I can handle whatever's coming. I always equate it to surfing, that you learn to read the ocean of life and to catch the waves and surf the waves and enjoy the ride, not to say, oh, I just did I caught 15 waves, so now I'm rich. Instead, we're just catching the waves because we like surfing. Now, this sounds kind of woo-woo or, platitudes, both of which I hate. It's all going to be okay, trust. If you're religious, have faith in God, Buddha, Allah, whoever you work with. And I don't mean it that way. I don't like being that way. But the bottom line for me is I would like to help people to learn to have a spiritual practice. And the readings, for me, in the beginning, are to help people see, this is going to sound bad, to see what I can do. People have a right to know, okay, can you do what you say you're going to do? If you look at a lot of the really wonderful teachers that have been out there, my own teacher included, in the beginning, he used to do all sorts of miraculous things. Oh, he has the power, he can see this or see that or understand, and he says things and woo, and we want to go see him. And luckily he's not a cult leader. Maybe some people think he is. But if he is, he's the poorest cult leader I know. And he has his own problems, which is one of the reasons I trust that particular teacher. There's my prayer flags all kind of ratted out. I need new ones. This is one of the reasons I like picking up horse poop, because this happens. Company. So once we got excited about, oh, this teacher can do all this cool stuff, and I think everybody, if not everybody, almost everybody, starts off with, he can do cool stuff, so if I study with him, he'll do cool stuff for me, or I'll learn to do cool stuff too. And then life will be easier because I'll know how to do the magic stuff. I'll know what's coming, I'll know what's good and bad, and I'll suffer less. And I think some people weren't even thinking of that consciously. They were just unconsciously thinking that. Because after all, isn't that what spiritual gifts are all about? Less pain and getting what you want. I don't think so. I think we call that medication. And I'm not meaning to offend anybody on medication. I have referred a couple of people to go to medication when life is too hard and tough, and we've tried every natural remedy on the planet. It's like, all right, well then just take some medication. You can get off of it, and it will clean your body up. And so don't get mad that I said that. So seeing that what you can do when you have cool spiritual energy or gifts or talents and all that cool stuff is like, if you eat your vegetables, we'll tell a little kid, or whatever it is they don't want to eat, their broccoli or whatever, then you can watch your show. That's kind of how I think we all start off, or many of us start off on spirituality. But what I really like to teach is for each person to develop their own intuition, and you have to do this through practice. Because then also to develop intuition, you have to get connected to that wonderful giant energy that we call God, the universe, Yoda, Jesus, whatever you work with. I don't care what you call it. The more we're connected with that energy, the less scared we are of life, and the more intuitive we are, the more precognition you have, your healing powers increase. That's what I'm really interested in. So readings to me are, when you go to ER for urgent care, and they tell you you're going to be okay, or they put a bandage on you. But then after a while, maybe you want to learn how to climb the tree so you don't fall out of the tree so much. Now, I'm not trying to talk myself out of business. In a way I am, because ultimately I ask people to get a spiritual practice of silent meditation, because silent meditation is where you listen. Of course, the problem with silent meditation is if you have a lot of internal pain, as soon as you get quiet and sit with yourself, that pain is going to come up. It's going to come up because you need to heal it. It's the next step. So it's not a very popular, exciting thing that I have to offer, except that because my own energy field is pretty strong naturally, and also with practice, having my own practice of meditation, I can enhance your experience, neighbors' kids, I can enhance your experience until your connection gets stronger, and then you have your own experience. And it's cool, and it's wonderful, and it's like a psychedelic trip without having to take psychedelics. And one of the reasons people take psychedelics is so much easier to eat something than to sit and cultivate your own energy. So psychedelics can be a very good tool for that, but you can't run around being high all the time. Well, if you want to move out of your mom's basement, you can't, you can't do that. I'm joking, my New York humor. When we start to be able to touch that really profoundly universal energy, then we get less afraid. And now we're kind of living with a foot, what are you eating? A foot in each world. You're eating the pepper tree blossoms on the ground. Okay. So that's what I really teach, but I find that a lot of people aren't that excited about it these days. Can you imagine me being an influencer? Or even, I tape my classes. You know what we do? We sit there doing nothing. And that's what it looks like. And some people are crying, some are talking in tongues, and some are blissed out. And then people open their eyes and they go, wow. But really, the biggest thing, and some go, I didn't feel a thing. And what I hear them also saying in their own head is, why did I pay her any money? This is ridiculous. I could stay home and sit here and feel this uncomfortable. That's when you first come, it can be like that. But then what really happens is I start hearing when people come back, I didn't get so angry. I'm sleeping better. I'm not so afraid. And it's not because I am the magician who solved all their problems. No, not at all. Instead, they are getting connected to themselves and to spiritual energies. And that is the miracle of having a spiritual practice. Going back to readings, here's why, unless you have a spiritual practice with a lot of detachment, you cannot hear a lot about the future, because most people are coming to get a predictive reading to get out of pain, fear, or anxiety, or loneliness or depression. I never have people come to me and say, I am so happy, everything is great, I'd like a reading. That has never happened. So, without a spiritual path to accompany getting readings, people come for readings and they are massively focused on the outcome because they want an answer that's going to help their current fear or anxiety. One of my few sage bushes on the property that I grew from a baby, went out in the wild and found a baby and managed to make it transplant. So gorgeous. I never ran out of sage. Definitely need it nowadays. Can you imagine a 4-year-old who says, tell me about your future? And so we start talking about that, in maybe, let's see, 10 years, they might want to kiss someone on the lips and maybe snuggle up next to them. And that 4-year-old's going to go, yuck. No, I like to do that with my dog. I don't want to do that with, a boy or a girl. Yuck. Well, they're 4. And there's no way you can tell them that what's coming in 10 years, they're going to love it. And that it's something so interesting. At every point of our life, we are still 4 years old. When you're 20, getting a reading about what's going to be going on with you at 40 or 60, I'm under the fence here, you can't handle that unless you have a lot of detachment, meaning you're more interested in what will I be learning, what will that learning look like, and how can I best continue my practice now in order to keep learning, so when the future rolls in, I'm going to get the most out of it in terms of learning, not in terms of money or love or children or career. If I tell someone you're going to get cancer when you're 35, but it's going to be the best thing that ever happened to you because your marriage will get reignited, you'll be more in love, your kids will stop being such buttheads and will have a better relationship with you, and you're laying there or standing there going, cancer, a good thing, this person's crazy. So predictive readings aren't so much about the truth with a capital T as perspective. Why do people keep getting ongoing readings with me is like the next class in college. So I took, I'm a writer, and I took paragraph structure and thesis structure and tone and audience, and now I'm looking at texture, musicality of a piece, purpose, audience, etc. So you have another teacher or another class because you've mastered another layer of writing, and you want to study or work with someone who's going to get you to the next layer and the next layer. That's what I like to offer people, the next layer, not the answer to your current problem. Again, I have no problem doing those kind of readings. I don't like working on commercial psychic hotlines, which I've done because there's so much pain. And once the person gets what they want, the man, the woman, the job, or whatever, invariably they're calling again because now it's something else, because it's that endless search. I don't know if it's capitalism or modern culture. Really? Zahara, get out of the way. Zahara, come in. Zahara. You're going to get treat hay. Yes, you are. It's like somehow we have been programmed to think if I just get this one thing, then I'm going to feel better, be better, do better, etc. And by the way, this is the lovely basis of consumerism, right? Just, Zahara, come on, back up. Come on, back up. Zahara, back up. Come in. Come in. Get back. Come on, right here. I've got it. If I get this one thing, the fake eyelashes, the perfect eyebrows, lose the 10 pounds, I'm going to feel happy. And you will for, a week, an hour. But then comes the old problems, or the underlying desire. Here you go. Come here. All right, come here. The underlying desires of happiness, serenity, joy, and peace that don't come from, okay, good boy, that don't come from getting something. It comes from being able to live with a certain energy. And, maybe there's some people out there, some new age, wondrous people. Come on, puppies. Come on. Pia, Hoshi, come on. Come on. Good dogs. Oh, good dogs. Very good. Maybe there's some wondrous people who, naturally do that, or some walk-ins or extraterrestrials. Me, it's like I got to go to the gym for my body to feel good. And when I don't, I pay the price. Well, I also got to cultivate my energy. And I do that through a meditation practice, which, by the way, doesn't take hours. You can, meditate for a minute 3 times a day. If that's all you got, then do that. Start there. And the more you have a spiritual practice, the more you know already what's coming. And more importantly, you understand why you think it's coming, because you may not be right, and what you hope to learn from it, what you hope to experience. Now those readings are invaluable because that's helping you grow and evolve and get more peace and more humor. And oh, now we're getting along. Okay, good. My black cat the other day beat up Hoshi for no reason that I could see. And then he came over because I was hugging Hoshi to make, this is Hoshi, to make her all better. And he bit me because I obviously did something wrong with Hoshi when he was giving her a lesson. But now they're all okay. Good. Very good. So you want to be able to live better and not have to regulate your nervous system so much, because your nervous system just gets regulated by your practice, along with, of course, eating well and taking care of your body also. So if you come for a reading, my suggestion is think about, are you ready to learn so you can grow and evolve so that you start to get more psychic, more healing energy for yourself and others, better able to talk to your animals, better able to touch that universal energy, particularly when you get scared and anxious? And this is why I've always run groups, because the one-on-one work is excellent. But being with like-minded people and watching everybody working hard or working well, or, kind of dedicated to more than just, I want to get what I want to get with my little 4-year-old brain, is so inspiring. And then you find out you're very normal to have all the feelings you have. You get to practice with other people, and you get to do readings for each other. And then you find out how accurate you are, and other people find out how accurate they are. And now it's a lifestyle. I think that's all I have to say about this. I want to just say that this reminds me that truth is relative. If I say to you, you're going to get stage 4 cancer and it's going to be the best thing that ever happened to you, that's not your truth. It won't be your truth until it's over, that you come out of it and going, oh my God, you're right. And if I tell you you're going to get the partner of your dreams, the job of your dreams, and all the money you could want without having to work your ass off, and then you get that, and then you fall apart because your nervous system can't handle it, and it doesn't make you happy, it just brings with it more problems. Because we think getting what we want is going to make us happy, but remember, everything comes with problems. You have the perfect mate, well, now you have to spend time with them. And what if you gain weight? And what if you don't feel like having sex? And what if you have a big argument? Or what if they have to move back in with their mom with you because their mom got sick? And you can't leave them because you love this one and you didn't love the other ones. Everything comes with problems. So if you're looking for the things that are going to happen that will help you cope with your problems because now you have what you want, that is the fantasy of consumerism. That is the fantasy of Hollywood. It sounds so trite when we say this, and it took me a long time to really believe it in my bones. It's not what we do, it's how we do it. You might get your dream job and find out you hate it because it was a fantasy in your brain. And then you feel even worse because you have no right to complain now that you have your dream job. And all your friends think you're crazy because why are you so sad? You got your dream job. But it was in your brain, like, oh, it's going to be perfect. And my question is, what are the problems that come with that? A small example of this: people who want to lose weight. Then they lose weight. And then the opposite sex or the same sex comes after them because now they're attractive. I'm not fat shaming. I'm just using this as an example. Calm yourself. So now they have all these people coming on to them and flirting. And this is a person, for example, who has never flirted in their entire life. And they don't know how to handle all the extra attention. And all their low self-esteem issues come up now. And they don't have good boundaries in place. So now they're getting sexually harassed or maybe even assaulted. And their girlfriends who like them because they weren't a threat, now your girlfriends or your guy friends turn into shitty friends because they're competing with you and they feel threatened with you. And you didn't see that coming either when you lost weight or got some kind of plastic surgery or got your eyelashes done or whatever it was. And this is what I mean about when we want something really badly, we get this kind of tunnel vision. And I don't believe in intending and manifesting. I think we've done that before we ever got here. But here's the thing, you can intend and manifest. If you have a child in a shopping market, shopping cart, and you're in the shopping market, and that child is screaming for chocolate and you're trying to get that child off of sugar, and everybody's looking at you and that child is screaming, guess what you're going to do? You're going to give that kid some candy till you get home, or perhaps risk making a scene. We are like that screaming child in the shopping cart. If we say, I am intending this, I am manifesting this, and that's all you're doing, that's all you're doing, the universe keeps trying to show you something else, you will be given what you are demanding with your little 4-year-old temper tantrum. But it's not going to make you happy. It's not going to solve your problems. It's just going to be a pacifier. This is why I don't pray for the things I want. I will talk to Spirit about it, straight up. I wish I had this. I wish this was true. I wish that was true. And I end every prayer with, what I want most of all is for you to give me what's best for my highest good, or you to show me what's best for my highest good. Because I want what's for my highest good, not what my current little screaming 4-year-old brain wants. So if you're going for readings, be sure that you understand why you're going. If you're going for an emergency fixer-upper, okay, great. That's what you're going for. Not a problem. If you're going to get some guidance, like, what's the next class coming up for me? What will I be learning? And how's the best way to learn it? Like you were taking a writing class. That's also great. Excellent way to do a reading, in my opinion. I would also, though, always try to get some guidance or a little bit of a taste of, help me with my spiritual practice so I can take myself to the next level. Now, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying this is how I work, and this is what I've learned over like 50 years of spiritual work, and coming from atheism to believing in there is something bigger than us, a higher intelligence, a compassionate, loving intelligence, an energy field that we can connect with. I want to remind you again, if you haven't listened to the telepathy tapes, the telepathytapes.com, I really want to encourage you to go to their website, or you can listen to the podcasts on any platform. Because one of the things you'll see is that while the parents are very excited now to learn telepathy, what they're also finding out is that's not solving all the problems, even though it's like a really cool skill. It's like, well, now I can talk to my dogs, but I still have to take them for a walk. I still have to have a job that pays for their food. I still have to deal with my own emotions. I still have to take care of my body. So spirituality is the whole package. It's not just predictions and outcomes and future readings, even though those can help a great deal. Enough rambling. I'm taking the dogs out and hope to meet some of you guys on Zoom or in person.